So before we really get into it, obviously, you guys read the title. I want to preface this first. I am by no means a professional. Okay, these are just my thoughts, how I interpret it, um, so on and so forth. Okay, obviously, you read the title. Tempted to look at porn, right? Look at commit adultery towards others. That is what that's what pornography is, and that's something I've really struggled with over the years. Is lust. Lust is one of the biggest sins out there. I think it's one of the most common sins out there, especially right now in this in our world. I mean, we have so much access to everything. We have access to the internet. That's where we get our porn from, right? We have so much access and so much free reign, and it's so easy for us to do that, to watch it, to tempted to look at pornography. I've come to realize that it's like that is not the way, right? That is not the way that I should be moving in this life anymore. That is something I need to move on from. That is something I need to leave in the past. Every time I read my Bible, before I even jump into it, I always ask, Heavenly Father, what is something that I need to hear today? What is something maybe others need to hear today as well? And I open to Peter 1:13. It's called to be holy, and it talks about whatever you had to do, whatever happened in the past, whoever you were before a child of God. You need to move past that. Maybe it's not porn, right? Maybe it's not looking at those things. Maybe it's absolutely loving money, which is also something I have a hard time with. Maybe it's getting drunk, right? It's doing the things that numb your mind to the Heavenly Father. So how can I let go of lust, of sin, of doing the things that my old life have that I cannot bring into this new life with God? It's rolling up your shirt sleeves of your mind, rolling them up, being prepared for action, being disciplined, and being aware of what you think. You need to be able to view sin as what it really is, and you need to view God as who He really is. If you think of sin as attractive, right? Attractively glamorous. That is why we continue to. It's attractive. We get something from it, right? But that essentially you're viewing God as boring. What that means is that you're not sober minded. You're essentially drunk, and you need to avoid whatever numbs your mind to God instead of conforming to the passions of your former ignorance, right? That's what I'm talking about. Is your former ignorance, are your past mistakes, are your past sins, right? That you have tried to bring into this new life, but you know better, right? You know better. That's why you're watching this, right? Maybe that's the reason you clicked on this video, right? Something hits. Maybe this title really resonated with you, right? It's a sin, and we struggle with it, man. Like I am having a hard time with it. That's why I'm talking about it. That's why I'm reaching out to God. That's why I happened to turn on this page. That's why I happened to turn on this page with Peter. You needed to hear this. I needed to talk about it. And again, maybe pornography isn't the thing that you struggle with, but maybe it's numbing yourself to God. Well, again, maybe that's money. Maybe that's drugs and alcohol, right? That is the ignorance of your past self that you're trying to bring into this new life with God, which can't happen. You cannot have those and have God with you because you're numbing yourself to the voice of Him, to the voice of God. So again, you have to view sin as what it is. It is sin, right? And you have to view God as who He is. He is the Almighty. So we need to be pure. We need to be separate from evil. Why? Because we're a child of God and He is our Father. That is why. Is because we need to represent who we believe in, who we stand for, right? His moral character. That is who I strive to be, and I think that's who you're going to strive to be too, especially if you clicked on this video. If you guys enjoyed this, drop a like, drop a comment, let me know what you guys think. Maybe even consider subscribing to Uncharted Potential. This is where we grow. This is where we try and become our best selves, not only for us, right? Not only for me and you, but for other people as well and our family, so we can help them become their best selves as well. So with that, hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next one.